We get a kingdom, which looks awesome. Honestly, the banner for this kingdom looks sick. We get an army of 7,500 men, which is so cool. Wow, and look how cheap everything is. That's crazy. 3 months to build walls and towers? Is that a joke? I didn't realize this before. I'm gonna build all of these things? Oh my goodness, it's gonna happen so quick.
Yo, you wanna see some real speed, bitch?
Oh my god, I've never seen this before. That's ridiculous. Holy crap. Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be taking a look at the new Northern Lords flavor pack that has been released for Crusader Kings III.
With the Northern Lords flavor pack, playing as a Norse Lord will be more immersive than ever.
But the real question is, who are we going to be playing as to test out the full range of this Northern Lords expansion pack? Well, we won't be playing as anybody too overpowered like these guys up here, and I think the perfect person to play as is the ruler of the Isle of Mann, because they do have some interesting decisions available to them, and they'll kind of let us take a look at the new DLC and some of the features that they have to offer, including the decision to elevate the Kingdom of Mann and the Isles, which says that the Isle of Mann is uniquely placed to act as a haven for northern raiders, with easy access to not just the British Isles but all of Western Europe. And what you do get from this decision are a lot of things actually. Your family line gets a good boost here to your embarkment cost and your raid speed. You get a bunch of renown and you get an army. You just get a lot of things that will be very helpful. This decision looks quite OP actually, and that's what we're going to be trying to do in this video. While we will be playing as this small little island here, our economy and prestige is going to be revolved around raiding. I think we will be having to do a lot of raiding in this game. However, the problem with playing as this island here is that the player you start as is pretty old and he doesn't have much going for him. So I think what we are going to have to do is just go ahead and create a new character. We'll have to create a ruler that matches this pirate lifestyle, which we are going for.
Throttle circuit breakers in.
We have the capability to make the world's first bionic man.
Dan of Mann
Will be that man.
And just like that, we have our lovely character. He is 18 years old, and I've tried to keep the points down just below the achievement limit, even though we will not be playing on Iron Man, just to make sure he wasn't too overpowered. So I think we are ready to start the game as the Count Dan Skal of the Earldom of Mann. Would you look at us? We just look like an absolute beast in our full gear here. So if this is the first time you're seeing gameplay from the Northern Lords, you will notice a few changes. First of all, the tabs on the right hand side have got a little update. They look super nice. It's like wood carvings, and even the top and the bottom look very similar. So we gave our player the robust trait, as well as the 3 virtues for our religion, which is the Norse religion. And we did that because we want to be pretty much the perfect Viking pirate. That's kind of our goal for this game. So here we are on our little island, which is not our culture or our religion. So I think the first thing we're going to do is start converting that. We have a dwarf realm priest here with 3 learning only. So I think I'm going to have to swap that. I don't think I can handle having a guy with 3 learning. Again, this is our goal for the game. We will need to become independent at some point, and we'll need to gain a lot of fame. And we will also need to gain the trait of Viking, and the way you can get this trait is just by, as you can see here, we would have to be a well-known plunderer of foreign settlements, so that just means we'll have to raid a lot of people. And I think that shouldn't be a problem because we have a lot of weak neighbors over here in Ireland who will be easy pickings for raiding. And we have a decent amount of prestige in which I will start to get some units, and you can look here, you'll see there are a lot of new units if you're playing as a northern ruler. You have two new types of heavy infantry. You have light infantry and some new bowmen. And what you'll notice down here is there is this area that says winter effects, and that's another new update in this DLC, which now there will be seasons. So in the winter there can be periods of extreme cold, and certain units will move slower and fight worse during these times. So having some of these northern units that have a bonus in winter will definitely help. So I'm going to recruit some of these bowmen because they're pretty cheap. They're only 12 prestige more expensive than the regular bowmen, and you can see they have the winter bonus. So I'm going to get one group of these bowmen, and I'm also going to get some light infantry. And what I always like to do whenever I start a game is just try to get my domains up to my domain limit, because that'll just give you a huge bonus in your gold and units. And if you look, you can actually see, even though it's November, you can see a little bit of snow coming on the ground here. As for the minor decisions, you now have one thing that's super cool, which is determine personal deity, which means you get to devote yourself to one of the Norse gods, and they give you different bonuses, which look like can be pretty useful depending on what you're trying to do in the game. And you can do it every 2 years, which is nice. So I'm going to devote myself, I think, to Thor, just because it gives you stewardship and prowess, which are two really important things, especially in the early game. So far I'm liking the new DLC. There's a lot of small changes, nothing too massive as of yet. So now that we have a foothold here in Ireland, we can go ahead and just start raiding all these little Irish counties that are around here. And it looks like a lot of them have been raided already. So my dwarf spy master and champion and knight wants to go be a guard in the Byzantine Empire. If you think a dwarf with 6 prowess is gonna help you, then I mean, like, you might as well go for it. This guy does look like he could use some help. He looks like he's in pretty bad shape right now, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so it looks like I got a new event here too. So yeah, this DLC obviously adds a lot of new events, and it looks like it's revolving around my my raiding. Oh, this is pretty cool. So it looks like the people we're gonna raid want to set up a trade deal with us instead of being raided by us. I think I get 15 if I continue raiding, so I think I'm just gonna raid. I'm a pirate overlord, so I'm not here to make trade deals with you. Okay, so now that we have 50 gold, we can raise a runestone, which I really like, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. So it's going to be a runestone dedicated to my taking of this county over here. And it looks like I have the decision to either put it in my capital or in this, in the county I just took. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and put it in my capital, because you lose the runestone if you lose the land. So I don't want to lose that. And it gives me a control bonus actually, so I think I'm actually going to put it into the place I just took, because I am increasing the control over there, so that would help. Yeah, so now if we look here, we're getting 1.3, and 0.2 of that is coming from the runestone. Okay, so we just got another event, and this one involves duels, which is another new feature, which lets you do one-on-one combat with other characters. So this guy, who it looks like he's a drunk, ugly berserker, which is pretty funny. He comes in and wants to fight somebody, and since we are just a huge beast, I think we will go ahead and fight him. And the way the duels work, so I've heard, I haven't tried it out yet, are you actually have to adjust to the way that your enemy attacks you. So it's kind of like a little bit like rock, paper, scissors, or it adds like a little bit of tactics and not just random chance relating to your prowess levels. So also the option of this fight was not to the death, so you can see here it says it's till first blood. Okay, so I could attempt to disarm him or I could kick him in the shin. That seems like pretty funny. So they all seem to have these chances of success and chance of injury, so I think I'm just gonna kick him in the shin, just because that sounds hilarious.
So we're gonna focus on both. If she's coming, boom, I kick her, okay?
So it appears like he has went into a defensive stance here, and I think I'm going to attack now,
Boom.
which gives me a medium likelihood of success with low injury risk. So it looks like he's close to being defeated here, so I think I'm just gonna keep attacking. And it looks like I won. So it looks like he gets the wounded trait. That was pretty fun. And so I could just kill him here. That's pretty funny. And I would gain a bunch of prestige. Yeah, I think I would like to have him in my court because he is a pretty good warrior. He has 14 prowess, which is like better than anybody I have. Or could kick him out. No, I think I will get him in my court. It gives me a bunch of stress, but that's okay. And it looks like my raiding party just got freaking hammered by these guys here, which is not good. So I was about to start a war with Ulster here, and I did see another new gameplay element from the DLC, which is this new Causus Belli that we have available to us if you are a northern ruler. It's a very interesting war type in which if you're an independent ruler, you can declare war on somebody, and then not only do you get their land, but you immediately move your own realm capital to that land, and the land that you own goes to vassals or to a upstart local warlords, and you become you get pretty much a new realm. So I think that's pretty interesting, and I think it's, if you're playing as some of these weaker northern houses, like maybe somewhere in Norway, you could declare war over the water on some of these guys, and then you can set up as a new realm, that's a pretty cool idea. The dwarf I had sent to the Byzantine Empire has come back, and he now has a cool little trait. I hope he did a good job protecting the emperor over there. So this is actually pretty cool. Another one of the new features added in with this is a decision where you can actually partition the Kingdom of England into two different kingdoms, one being the Kingdom of Danelaw and the other one being the Kingdom of England. Since I'm not playing as these guys, so it seems like the computer was able to do this, but I think it's because the duchy that was Joveric over here took enough land to be able to enact this decision. And what this means is that it kind of works out for both of them. So one of the duchies that was down here, I forget which one it was, I think it was Wessex down here, they got to take all of this land and become England, while Joveric got to become a kingdom with all of their land here. So it kind of works out for both of them, and that's like a kind of a cool new feature that got added in here. So I've just been like raiding all these little islands and kind of anywhere that's doesn't have enough military to fight me, and the best part about it is I just get all of these prisoners which you can sell off for gold. So not only do you make money from the actual raid, but you get tons of gold from the prisoners that you get. So I'm at war with the Welsh over here, and they keep trying to take my little island, which sucks, but I did build myself some simple palisades in here, which is giving me an extra fort level and a little bit of an advantage here. So that's gonna help in this battle. It said I had the advantage when we went into the battle, even though these guys have a little bit more men than me. So we'll just watch to see how this plays out. And we just disembarked, right? So we're gonna get a huge penalty from that. But other than that, we're actually winning. And I think one of the main reasons, as you can see, it's winter, and all of our units here have bonuses from winter. If we look, all of our military units will have like damage bonuses or toughness bonuses in winter. And if we look at the casualties, we doubled his losses, so it's great for us. I have to try to get my independence from my liege here, which is this guy, because I do want to be able to create my own duchy so I can start giving my land away, because right now I'm way above my domain limit. Okay, so it looks like I can send my ultimatum for my independence faction, and it actually looks like somebody wanted to join me, which is very nice. These little guys down here want to do their own independence faction. So I'm gonna go ahead and press demands. So I think what we need to do in an independence faction is go right for their capital and try to snag it. He's currently fighting his own war against the Scots, so I'll have to be careful about that. Wow, we actually stack wiped them, so that's great. I don't think they have any units left yet, so they only have 200 men. So after these Scots get out of here, out of his capital, I should be able to take it. I don't know how he's losing the war. What is this even? They're fighting for this tiny place up here. Sometimes the AI blows my mind. So it looks like we actually captured their leader and we hit 100% war score. Perfect. So now we are independent. Oh, we can finally hold our religious ceremony. Well, I think the first thing we need to do now that we have our independence is to usurp our duchy. Which will now show off our beautiful head because we're not wearing a hat anymore. Oh man, our player is just quite the looker. I really enjoy building these runestones. It gets you a ton of prestige and faith when you complete it. Okay, let's take a look at our Kingdom of Mann and the Isles. So we should pretty much be able to do this. We just need to get a little bit more fame. Oh man, it's gonna be tough. We need to get Living Legend. And well, we need the trait, the Viking trait, so we need to raid a little bit more. So I think I'm gonna go on a raiding spree and just raid a ton of places around me and try to get the Viking trait with my player. If there's known criminals, you can challenge them for different things. So this is pretty cool. It's a cool way to get money, especially if you're like if you have a lot of prowess. So I guess I'll do this actually, just to get some gold quickly. Why not? Look at my guy and then look at the guy I'm fighting against. I think it's obvious who's gonna win. This dude does not look like he's ready to fight, and I think he only has 2 prowess. So, and just like that, I won, and I gain a good amount of gold. That's pretty cool. 75 gold. I like it. That's a good way to make money. So here's another cool thing that you can do with this new DLC. So I'm low on champions right now. You can see I have 9 out of 12 champions only. So what I'm going to do is one of my daughters actually has 14 prowess, which is pretty good. She would be a pretty good person in my army. So I'm actually going to go ahead and make her a shield maiden using the hook that I get on her at birth. And now you can see she gets this cool trait here, which actually bumps her prowess up by 2 and gives her 2 more martial ability. And she should be here fighting in my military now. Yeah, she's right here, my daughter and champion. It pretty much doubles, almost doubles your how many knights you can have, so that's actually pretty cool. And you can also see our military is stacked with a bunch of super strong dudes. So I think it's about time I test out this new religious ceremony feature that we have. So this is cool. So you get to choose how many people you want to invite, and we have tons of money. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and say everybody in my whole realm. Wow, so this is really cool. You get to choose also what you can sacrifice. So you can do just animals, a lot of animals and humans. You can do just people, so like your prisoners and stuff, which is pretty cool. And you can even designate a special person to be sacrificed. I think I will just do the option to get a lot of animals so I don't offend any of my my subjects who don't endorse human sacrifices. So just like that, we finished our first Blot, and we have the option to devote it to devote this service to the gods, which will increase our opinion with our priestess, but she already likes us a lot. I could gain opinion with the nobles who went, or with the common people, and I think that's what I'm going to do. That sounds pretty cool. I am in fact Jarl Dan of Mann, so I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. So we have finally done it here. We got the Viking trait, which is perfect because we are getting up there in age. We're 51 already. I've pretty much just been raiding every chance I get. Like, if we look here, Ireland is pretty much just raid central for me. I just keep going in because their armies are so weak. And not only does that give us extra martial prowess and prestige, but Now, if we go to our decisions, we just need to go up one more fame level, and we can create the kingdom of the Isle of Man. And we need a good amount of prestige, but I have some ways I can get it. Oops, this is pretty gnarly. So I killed this guy to get a bit more prestige, and it looks like I swung my axe right into his stomach, and all of his guts just spilled out in front of me. Okay, so this is pretty cool. So I just reached 250 renown, and they kind of reworked the way renown works. So before, the way it worked, it costed 1,000 for the first one, and then an extra. I think it also went up by 500 each time. So now it's just overall easier to get your first. It's easier to get your first and second traits here on your legacies, your dynastic legacies, which apply to all of your characters in your family. And there's 2 new ones. It used to just be these here, but now there's 2 new ones, and they kind of work with the Northern Lords expansion pack, because they revolve around. This one's adventuring, so you can send some of your family members to be guards, the Byzantine Empire, or pretty much anyone who's a big king or empire, and then they can get traits. So I did that before earlier in the game with one of the people I had in my court, and he came back with the trait. He came back with a new trait that gave him bonuses, so that's pretty cool. So that's something you can do with some of your sons. Let's say you can send them abroad, and maybe they'll come back a little bit better. I like that. But I think what we're gonna have to go for here is the pillage tree, which the first one gives us a bonus of 1 prowess for all our family members, naval speed, and you get fame from battles and prestige, which is super important because that's what we need to try to get to the last level of prestige. And then these ones look pretty good too, so we're definitely going to go down the pillage route for our family. And you can see, just a little update, we took Iceland, we took some of these islands around here. We've been taking a lot of land around our little Isle of Man here, and we're very, very close to becoming the living legend. Wow, so with my new legacy, look how much prestige I got from winning this battle here. I wasn't even fighting in a war, I was just raiding, and I saw a group of 2,000 men, and I went over there just to spank them up, and we got 377 prestige, which is like crazy. Okay, so we just finished a raid here, and we now became a living legend, which means we have the decision available to us to elevate the kingdom of Man and the Isles, which is awesome. I'm so excited to get this done. So first of all, our dynasty, which means every member of our house gets this bonus here, and it means we can raid regardless of our government type, which is useful because this decision changes us to a feudal government, which is totally crazy. We don't have to go through all the super hard things to become feudal, we just get it automatically. We get a kingdom, which looks awesome. Honestly, the banner for this kingdom looks sick. We get an army of 7,500 men, which is so cool. All our tribal holdings in the realm will become castle holdings, which I think normally happens when you become feudal. And it gets 3 building slots for our capital county, which is cool. And then this is what really is interesting to me. The development level is going to change by 20 in our capital, and it gets this bonus, the Stolen City. And what this gives us is a building construction time of minus 200%. So 200, we're gonna be able to build things 200% faster and for half price, which is honestly really cool. Like, we're gonna be able to get a crazy capital super quick, which is really interesting to me. So let's do it. Wow. So there we go. We're known far and wide. We have tons of renown, which is sick because we'll be able to choose more dynastic legacies. And we get this lovely little thing here. We look amazing with our new crown in front of our boats. I am seen as the most evil pirate they have ever heard of. That is awesome. Wow, so I get the nickname The Great and Terrible. Super cool. Oh my goodness, look at our units, 10,000. Wow, this looks so cool. Man and the Isles. Super awesome. Look at our banner. Okay, let me take a look in here. Oh my goodness, look at this. That looks so cool. Wow, it's like a Nordic style castle. And here's my pirate horde. 7,500 men. Oh my goodness, they're pretty powerful too. That's cool. Wow, so these get passed down too. That's awesome, dude. So even after I die, because I know when I was playing the Mongol game, you lose your Mongol hordes after on succession, but here you get to keep them. You get to keep your army, which is pretty awesome. Wow, and look how cheap everything is. That's crazy. 3 months to build walls and towers? Is that a joke? I didn't realize this before. I'm gonna build all of these things? Oh my goodness, it's gonna happen so quick. Look at this. Oh my god, I've never seen this before. That's ridiculous. Holy crap. Whoa. I just built bastions and curtain walls in 3 months. That takes like years normally. I don't remember if it's 2 years or 3 years, but that takes a long time normally. This is so cool. And it's so cheap too. Wow, look at my gold income. Wow, some of these are really overpowered actually. Look at this, plus 50% gold from ransoms. You can get tons of money like that. Gain prestige when ransoming prisoners? Whoa, I have to get that. Oh wow, look at that, you get equal prestige from and gold too. That's super cool. So I just have to keep being a pirate, raiding and killing and pillaging people essentially for the rest of this game. I'm blown away of how fast I can build buildings here. And it's going to be for 100 years too, which is so cool. I'm already fully built all the buildings I can here. And it's literally like 6 months after I became king. So I am so strong at this point with this much units, prestige, and money. I can really do whatever I want. But I think there's going to be no better way to end this video than to raid the absolute shit out of England. Now they have 3,000 men, so before I wasn't able to raid them, but now it should not be a problem at all. Could you imagine England just seeing all of these Vikings being raised out of the out of the depths of Wales? They would be shitting their pants. Look at my army of raiders taking over England. Oh, it's wonderful. So wonderful. Look, these guys already have 41 gold. We're getting prisoners, which we can ransom for gold and prestige now. They're too scared to even raise an army to fight me. They're just getting completely raided. There's something so nice just about making historically accurate, playing historically accurate CK3 games. This guy's 70 gold already. Like, look at that. That's double my gold income he has on him. This guy's 61, 45. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna be rich. Oh man, look at all this loot. I just got 250 gold and 250 prestige just from like raiding for a month maybe in England. I am literally unstoppable. I can pretty much print money and prestige now. My goodness. Well, on that wonderful note, I think that's where I'm going to end this episode. I've had a lot of fun playing this new flavor pack, DLC, whatever they want to call it. I find it's pretty fun. I've had a good time with it. But the real question is this DLC worth it? And to answer that, you have to take a look at your own playstyle. If you play CK3 in a way where you just like to take land and paint the map, then it doesn't really add that much to you. There's not too many new units for all the different areas. There are only decisions that relate to the north here, and if you're that type of player, you don't really care about these big decisions anyway. But if you're the type of CK3 player who likes to role play more, if you like to take a character and kind of commit to what you want to do with them, like I wanted to be a pirate raider, and having these new decisions that can really help this playstyle is super cool. I think it adds a lot, and I think I only paid $10 for this, so I think it's worth it. But it really depends on how you play this game, to be honest. Other than that, I'd just like to say thank you guys for watching this video if you made it this far. Sorry I haven't been posting as much as I would like. I'm kind of getting killed by school right now. But after this month, I should be back to being able to make videos a lot more often, and I have a bunch of things in mind to make videos about. So I hope you guys enjoy, and thanks for watching.